evening and welcome to this Thursday evening session. We shall begin in about 2 minutes time, so kindly settle down, sit comfortably into a cross-legged position and get ready. Alright, let's sit comfortably into a cross-legged position. Keep your spine straight, roll the shoulders behind. Relax the throat, neck and the shoulders. Take your hands into the chin mudra. Drop them onto the lap. Gently close your eyes. Keep your eyeballs steady, chin parallel to the ground. And relax the entire body except your backbone. Take a deep breath, filling up your stomach like a balloon to the count of 4 to 5 seconds. And slowly start exhaling to the count of 8 to 10 seconds as you contract your stomach. Take your time, do not rush. Breathe in as gently as possible. Remember, the longer you inhale and the longer you exhale, it's going to help you to increase the capacity of your lungs. Slowly start putting an end to all the thoughts in the mind and move your focus towards your breathing. Observe your own breath with your mental eyes and pay attention to it so that your mind is totally empty and focused and latched on to the breathing. Relax your spine and drop your head down, chin slightly towards the chest. And now joining the palms together of them. Cup your eyes, feel the warmth. And slowly release, open your eyes and relax. So welcome once again to this session. As mentioned the other day, we shall be going through Surya Namaskars or Sun Salutations this evening. So let's get ready for that. Remember, sun salutations or Surya Namaskars is a full body workout. It works on the entire body from the head to the toe and is very, very effective. Even if you miss your workout or if you're not able to do your other asanas, you can always practice Surya Namaskars daily. Let's begin. We're going to start with the traditional Surya Namaskars and then move to a few variations of it. So let's stand up. In the traditional form, we are going to stand ahead with the feet together, knees together, and the hands into the Namaskarasana. From here, we are going to inhale and exhale as we arch. From the arch, exhale and slowly bend down, dropping your hands to your toes. If you do not have the flexibility to reach the toes, never mind. You can always hold the ankles from the back and try to take your nose to the knees. From here, inhale and drop the palms down and take the leg behind into the Ashwasanchalan. Open the toes at the back. From here, we will take the other leg behind and bring the body to a plank position parallel to the ground. From here, exhale, drop the knees, keep the pelvic held up high and drop the forehead. Inhale and slide into the Bhujanga Asana as you curl or open up the toes at the back. Keep your elbows soft and rise up to the Cobra pose. From here, inhale and rise up to the downward facing dog, in which you will drop your heels to the floor, lock your knees and push your head towards the thighs. With a strong exhalation, bring the right leg forward between the hands, because that's where we started. Then bring the other one. Again, stand touching the toes. Inhale, stand up and arch back. Exhale and drop down. So that's your one circle of the Surya Namaskar. So let's do a couple of these and then go to the variations. Feet together, knees together, hands into Namaskarasana. Inhale and arch back. Exhale and come forward. Inhale, palms to the floor. This time the left leg behind, the right leg behind, plank position. Exhaling, knees, forehead down. Inhale and slide to the Bhujanga Asana. Climb up to the Adho Mukha Svanasana or the downward facing dog. With a strong exhalation into Ashwasanchalan, bringing the left leg forward. Then into the Hasta Padasana. Inhale, stand up and arch back. Exhale and release. Next one. Feet together, knees together, hands into Namaskarasana. Inhale and arch back. Exhale and drop down, touching the toes. Inhale, palms down, right leg behind, left leg behind, plank. Exhaling, knees down, forehead down. Inhaling, rise up to the Bhujanga Asana. Climb up to the Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the right leg forward, then the left leg forward, Inhale, stand up and arch back. Exhale and drop your hands and release. So that was your traditional Surya Namaskars. To begin with, if you are a beginner or if you've never practiced sun salutations, I would advise you to go ahead and practice these basic 12 cycles of the Surya Namaskars. You can start as basic as beginning with 5 or 6 a day. Continue for about a couple of days with the same number. Then add 2 the next day. Then add 4 after 4 days. And then you make a cycle of 12 for a month. These are all instructions for beginners who've never practiced Surya Namaskars. After doing 12 rounds of Surya Namaskars daily or alternate day, whichever is comfortable for you, then in the next month you add 2 in the first week, so making it 14, subsequently 16 in the second week, and that's how you go on increasing. So over a period of time, if you're a practitioner who's been practicing Surya Namaskars for a longer duration, you shall easily be able to go up to a higher count. For example, when I do my own self yoga practice in the morning, I can reach up to 151 Surya Namaskars in one set, or in one go, that is. So that is of course with so many years of practice and consistency. I don't expect everybody to do that, but even if you do just 12 Surya Namaskars daily for about 6-7 months, I'm sure you will see a lot of benefits physically and mentally. So from here now, let's go to the second variation called the Ashtanga Surya Namaskar, which is a little more tiring, nonetheless very, very interesting. This begins with the Tadasana. So unlike standing with the feet together, we are now going to stand with hip width distance between the feet. So let's begin. Hip width distance between the feet, and turn the toes inward, completely parallel to each other. Normally when we stand, our toes are out, but make sure that they are parallel. So hip width distance. Roll the shoulders behind, draw the arms down, open up the chest. Look forward, pull your stomach inside and drop your tailbone to the floor. This is your Samasthiti Tadasana, which is the first step. Right here and here itself, we will inhale deeply and exhale out to a Namaskar Asana. From here, we shall move to Urdhva Hastasana, which is stretching the arms up. So pull your arms out of the armpits and stretch up. From here, we'll go to the chair pose, where we exhale, drop the arms to a 45-degree angle and sit down as though you're squatting on a stool. Torso straight, do not bend, elbows straight. From here, inhale, exhale, drop the fingertips to the floor and push your body weight behind onto your heels, Uttana Asana. Feel a pull in the calves. Again, if you are unable to drop your fingertips to the floor, you can grip the ankles from behind. However, you need to move your body weight back onto the heels. From here, you will drop your palms to the floor and walk back to the Adho Mukha Svanasana, or the downward facing dog, in which remember to drop your complete heels to the floor and push your forehead towards the thighs. From here, inhale and exhale to the upward facing dog. So if you can see in the camera, my lower body is not touching the floor. I am yet balancing only on my toes at the back and of course on the palms in the front. And I am arching. This is the upward facing dog or the Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. From Urdhva Mukha, we again go to Adho Mukha, or the downward facing. Inhale. Once again exhale and Adho Mukha. From here now comes the most difficult part, which is the Chaturanga Dandasana. Now why is it called the Chaturanga Dandasana? Because we have the char angas, or the 4 body parts. 2 palms and 2 toes, 2 pair of toes. That is all the body will balance on. It is a low-lying plank, in English called as the 4-limbed staff. Now how do you do this? Well, keeping the arms as it is, we withdraw them close to the body and drop the upper body down parallelly to the floor. So nothing is touching the floor except your 2 palms and your 2 pair of toes. So from the upward dog, where the upper body is arched and the lower body is off the ground, I will simply withdraw the arms close and drop down parallelly to the ground. So if you see, I am balancing on the palms and on my toes, and then I rise up again to the Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. From here again climb up to the Adho Mukha. Keeping the hands in place, I walk forward into Uttana Asana once again, pushing the body weight behind.
Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha.
Inhale and stand up to Urdhva Hastasana once again. Exhale and come back to Samasthiti Tadasana, where the feet are already parallel to each other. I didn't have to come back here and adjust myself. I was already standing into that position. All I need to do is drop the hands and come back. So this is your 1 cycle of the Ashtanga Surya Namaskars. Very, very tiring. If you have noticed this, if you do this regularly, this increases the palpitation and increases the heart rate of the body. Very, very crucial for those of you who want to melt the internal body fat as well as the organ fat. So if you're the one who is gymming and your goal is weight loss, fat loss, you should definitely do the Ashtanga Surya Namaskars along with that. At least, if not daily, alternate days. So let's do a couple of the Ashtanga Surya Namaskars. I'm going to guide you again with the instructions. Get ready. Feet parallel, hip width distance, hands drawn down, chest wide open, stomach pulled in. Inhale deeply, exhale to Namaskarasana. Inhale to Urdhva Hastasana, exhale and squat to the chair pose. Inhale, exhale, fingertips down and walk back. Fingertips down and move back into Uttanasana. Push the body weight behind. From here, inhale, palms down and then walk back to the downward dog. From the downward, come up to the upward. Again, rise up to the downward. Again, the upward. And withdrawing the arms, drop parallel to the floor into the Chaturanga Dandasana and lift up to the upward, again the downward, walk forward to Uttana Asana, inhale, rise up to Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, come back to Samasthiti Tadasana. So this is the Ashtanga tiring Surya Namaskars. Very, very effective. Very effective for the lower back because of the upward dog and the downward dog. So those of you who have a constant or a chronic back pain or any kind of issues related to the lumbar, you must practice this asana. Of course, after making sure that you do not injure yourself, or if the back pain is not too much where you are not able to do these asanas. Let's do one more of the Ashtanga. We'll take a small break and then we'll go to the Vinyasa Surya Namaskars after that. One last one for Ashtanga. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Continue breathing. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Release. And slowly come down and sit comfortably into a cross-legged asana. Getting your heartbeat to a regular. I hope a lot of you, I'm sure a lot of you may have a heartbeat which has risen up. So let's bring down the heart rate. Let's bring down your pulse to normal. So for that, sit comfortably, drop your spine, take your hands in your lap, drop your head and sit down there. Close your eyes. We will relax here and come down and get rejuvenated after about a couple of minutes. Relax completely. Shut your mind to all thoughts and pay attention only to your heartbeats so that they gently regularize and your breathing becomes absolutely normal. Remember, you can now open your eyes and relax. Let me give you a very crucial bit of information. It's very, very crucial to make sure that you always get into Shavasana, which is a corpse pose, and cool down even if you do just 6 Surya Namaskars. However, this is very crucial because Surya Namaskars increases the body heat. So we need to always cool down. Remember how many number of Surya Namaskars you do, whether you do 10 or whether you do 110. You will always have to get down, lie down, prostrate on the floor and get into a Shavasana for about at least 1.5 to 2 minutes. Please remember this golden rule and follow it. We did this exercise with sitting down and relaxing right now because we did not do an extensive or a large number of Surya Namaskars. So I just wanted you to cool down in case your heartbeat had risen. However, it is crucial to practice Shavasana, which of course we are going to go to the end of this session today. We will end this evening's session with the Shavasana or the corpse pose. Let's get ready for the Vinyasa flow, which looks a little difficult and it is an elongated one because it's a longer duration of the Surya Namaskars. It is a cycle of nearly 21 rounds. And most people don't like to do this because it becomes very tedious. But again, very, very effective for weight loss, very effective for making sure that you have an extended mobility in your joints, and very, very crucial and amazingly works well on building your flexibility. So let's begin. The Vinyasa flow cycle starts and ends just like the traditional Surya Namaskars. The difference lies in between, which is the extended version, and that's where a lot of people find it very boring and tedious and often do not practice it. So let's get ready for it. So we start with the traditional form, feet together, knees together, hands into the Namaskarasana. Inhale and arch back. Exhale and drop down. Inhale, palms down, and take the right leg behind. That's it. This is where the similarity ends. From here we now rise up straight into the Namaskarasana and gently exhale and arch back. From here, inhale, exhale, and drop the arms down. Now from here, I'll have to show this to you by turning around, because this is very crucial. The foot movement is very crucial. So, when I was here, I will now lift by curling the toe, lift and lock the knee, and then look at the action of the foot. I am turning it and locking the foot to the floor, opening the chest on that side, taking the hand up and gazing at the hand. Both my hands are in one straight line, and then I drop it down, turn, drop the knee, and go back to a plank. From here I bring the other foot forward, drop the knee, and repeat the exercise by rising to the Namaskarasana, arching back, exhaling. Again, observe the footwork, very essential. Curl, lift, lock the knee, turn on the ball of the foot, drop the whole foot to the floor, open the chest on that side, take the hand up and observe the fingers, and then drop it down, turn, drop, and go back to the plank. Once you're in the plank, from here you open the knees wide, drop them to the floor, push your butt down, extending your arms, dropping your forehead to the floor, the Shashanka Asana or the moon pose. And from here now it again goes like the traditional form. So we inhale and slide to the Bhujanga Asana, come up to the Adho Mukha Svanasana, bring the right foot forward because we started with the right, left foot forward, stand, arch back, exhale and drop. So I hope you understood the footwork. Let's do this. It is very tiring, I know. Nonetheless, let's do one today. Feet together, knees together, hands into the Namaskarasana. Inhale and arch back. Exhale and drop down. Inhale, palms down. This time take the left leg behind and rise up. Arch, drop. Lift the foot, fold. Lock the knee behind, open up the hand, take the gaze up. Drop, drop the knee and go to a plank. From here, bring the other leg behind and let's repeat. Exhale. Drop, lift, turn, open, extend. Drop, turn, drop. Plank. Open the knees wide. Shashanka Asana. Slide to the Bhujanga Asana. Rise to the Adho Mukha. Bring the left leg forward because we started with the left here. The right forward. Stand up and arch back. Exhale and drop. Relax. And let's lie down into the Shavasana. Shavasana is where you lie down completely. Your hands are on the side away from the body, palms facing the sky, and the feet distance with the toes turned and dropped on the either side. So stay into the Shavasana for some time with your eyes shut. Work automatically on your pulse rate, let it regularize, and then I will take you through the relaxation. For now, just sit there, rather sleep there, and let your pulse rate come down to normal. It's a natural process, so let your breathing take its own course and time to settle to its normal rate. Let your pulse also regularize, after which we will get into the actual full Shavasana to relax the mind and the body as we move towards the end of this session. Okay, I guess by now most of your pulse rates would have come down to regular. All you need to do now is only listen to me because you're sleeping down with your eyes shut. So listen to the instructions and follow them. I'm going to condition you and guide you through the Shavasana process. Staying there on the ground with the arms away from the body, the palms turned towards the sky. Comfortable distance between the legs, between the feet. You have released your body from the head to the toe completely and surrendered yourself to Mother Earth. Surrender your body, surrender your mind, surrender your ego. Let it go. Eyes shut and the eyeballs steady. No tension anywhere in the body. No discomfort anywhere in the body. You can move your chin slightly by about half an inch to the chest so that the back of your neck is straight. We don't want an arch at the back of the neck. Relax your facial muscles, no frown lines. Relax your neck, throat muscles. Your face is completely relaxed. There is no tension again there. Roll the shoulders completely behind and drop them to the floor, enabling your upper back to rest completely onto the ground. Your arms are on the side, so relax your upper arms, your forearms, and then eventually your wrists and your fingertips. Loosen your fingertips and let it go. Relax the middle of your back. Now we all have a curve or a curvature in the lower back. So move your buttocks side to side slightly and adjust yourself pulling the tailbone to the ground and releasing it, which will enable the entire back to be well rested on the ground. In other words, your back is completely rested. Your entire upper body is well rested and surrendered to Mother Earth. There is no tension in the upper body, including your arms. Your buttocks anyway are well rested. Loosen up the thighs, all the muscles in the thighs, at the back of the thighs, that's the glutes and the hamstrings. Relax your knees, relax at the back of your knees. Make sure your calves are well resting on the floor, no tension in the calves. Your shins are well rested, the front of the calves. Your ankles are well rested, ensuring that your heels are comfortably dropped to the ground and your toes are dropped in either direction, loosening up the toe tips. So I walked you from your top of the head till the toes, conditioning you to loosen up every muscle, every part of your body. There is no tension anywhere, physical. Let's now move on to the mind and the breath. Consciously start putting an end to all thoughts in the mind. Stop all thoughts in the mind and throw out any existing thoughts. Put an end to the self-chatter or the self-talk that we indulge with in our own self. Put an end to it completely and pay attention and observe with your mind's eye your own breathing, which will help you to end all thoughts. As you inhale, observe with your mental eyes what is happening to the chest, what is happening to the nasal passage, what is happening to your stomach. As you exhale, observe the same. Remember, with every exhalation, you are going to fill up your stomach like a balloon. So inhale deeply to the count of 4 to 5 seconds. With every exhalation, that was inhalation, sorry. With every exhalation, you will contract your stomach, pull the belly button inward towards the spine, and release the breath slowly to the count of 10 to 12 seconds, or 8 to 10 seconds, if that is too much. So continue breathing in this form, observing the breath in a very conscious manner, which will end and put stoppage to the thoughts in the mind. Try to feel your own pulse rate, your own heartbeat as you do that. And stay there, calm, composed, and focused. साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ Try to be one with your own self. Look inward, observe inward. Do not get distracted by the sights. Sights, of course, not in question because the eyes are closed. Do not get distracted by the sounds around you, by the smells around you. Just look inward, withdraw your senses inward, and stay put there for the few final minutes. Remember, Shavasana is like a backup, like a computer takes a backup. So after a long tiring day, after a lot of exertion, physically and mentally, Shavasana will restore and rejuvenate you. Now, very consciously, we're going to get out of the Shavasana slowly and steadily. However, remember, you will not open your eyes right until the end of the session. Otherwise, this becomes fruitless. Very gently we will bring back the awareness into the body because the body has become extremely light and relaxed. So wiggle your fingertips, wiggle your toe tips, and slowly join the feet together. Very gently, without opening the eyes, roll and turn to the right side. Fold both hands into the Namaskar Asana and take the Namaskar under the right ear like a pillow. Stack the knees on top of each other and pull the knees up to the chest and stay there on the side into the fetal position. It's called the fetal position because this is exactly what we are in the mother's womb. Stay there, stay put there with the eyes shut. From the fetal position, without opening the eyes, you may drop your left palm to the floor and help yourself up by pushing. Come up and sit up slowly from the side into a comfortable cross-legged position, eyes still closed. Relax and soften your back. Drop your head down and drop your arms into the lap. Final few seconds. And now bring the palms together, rub them together, cup your eyes, feel the warmth. And slowly open the eyes, gently release the arms and relax. Which brings us to the end of this session. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I wish you all a pleasant evening, a well-rested night and a peaceful night. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shishye. Good night. And I will see you again for our next session on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock, right here. Thank you.